Welcome back to the How to Design Your Reopening Campaign series. If you've missed the first two episodes about the marketing message and the promotional offer, I've left a link in the description below. Don't forget that you can buy the accompanying toolkit for £97, which will save you at least 40 hours of work. I've left a link to that below as well. We have discussed so far how to build a marketing message that resonates with your audience. Then we have put together a stellar promotional offer that sells itself. In this episode, I will talk about the data points you certainly have and might have, how to organize that data, how to use it to personalize and fine-tune your marketing communications and the promotional offer, and how to build landing pages on your website that converts. Great, let's jump right into it. The first thing you will need to do is to go through your past booking data and filter out as much useful information as possible. This will help you to get the right offer in front of the right people, massively upping your chances for your reopening campaign to convert whopping numbers. There are at least 4 data points that you have about your past bookings: a name, contact details, the date when the booking was made, and the date of their visit. This is already a lot to work with, but let's explore what else you might have in there. A group photo from their visit, the type of booking, whether it was a friends and family outing or a work event. You probably have data on the group size and whether they visited repeatedly or not. Now let's see what these data points will help you to achieve. The contact details are obviously used to contact them. The name will help you to greet them by their actual name in the emails. The day of their booking will tell you how long ago was their visit, so how much can they still remember your brand. It also tells you whether it was a weekday or a weekend day, even which part of the day it was, if you've kept that data too. The day when the booking was made, not the visit's date, but when they've actually booked themselves in, gives you 2 valuable pieces of information. It tells you how far in advance they've made their past booking. And secondly, it also tells you which day they've made the booking. So for example, people who made their booking on the weekend are likely to organize outings like this on weekends. So you would want to keep that in mind when you're planning the schedule of your campaign, which we'll discuss in detail in the next episode. The group photo can be used in your visual communications. But make sure you have consent to use these photos, and you can simply resend these photos to the respective groups to refresh their memories about the amazing day they've spent in your venue, putting them on a nostalgia train. The type of group it was will help you to further refine the promotional offer you are sending to that specific group. Even if you don't have detailed segmentation of them, whether it was a birthday booking, an anniversary, a work outing, a family visit, or simply a friends get-together, you can at least separate personal emails from work emails. The group size is a very useful piece of intel to fine-tune your promotional offer. For example, if you know that the majority of your groups are made up of 4 people, you can either run a 5 tickets for the price of 4 or a 4 tickets for the price of 3 campaign. The first version simply encourages them to bring an additional person along. The second is more about saving money for them. It all depends on what you're trying to achieve. The repeat visits will tell you who is a loyal customer. They should be treated as such, since they are the most likely to visit again and to do so the soonest. So you can build a completely exclusive offer just for them, as a way to say thank you. If they've already played all your escape rooms, for example, but you have facelifted one of them while you were closed, then you should make sure that they know about that. Now you know what data you have and how it can work for you, but first you have to organize it so it's easy to use. The first step is to pull your data from the booking system you're using. You might be able to deal with the data there, but we will customize the dataset, so you should definitely pull it from the system and put it in an Excel or upload it to a Google Sheet. If you only have a few hundred bookings to work with, you can probably do this manually, but I would still recommend to work with formulas and filters to speed up the process and to minimize the risk of overlooking things. Most likely you're looking at more than 1,000 bookings from the past, and that definitely calls for formulas. So once you have pulled your data from the booking system and re-uploaded it, it will look something like this. Now let's start working with it. The first thing you would want to do is to separate corporate bookings from the personal bookings. They will need a different kind of message. If your booking system doesn't record this data separately, just filter the generic email endings like Gmail or Yahoo and mark them as personal in a separate column. The rest should be marked as corporate. Only your imagination is the limit to how you use your data. There's actually a lot more you can do to dissect this information, but if it isn't necessarily useful for a reopening campaign, I didn't cover that here. Do let me know though in the comments section if you would be interested to see a separate video on this in the future. Okay, now you have this amazing data set, but what should you do with it? There are two ways to use this data: to fine-tune your promotional offer and to personalize the newsletters you send. Let me bring you some examples to explain what I mean by this. Let's say that you segmented family visits with an average group size of 4 people and mostly weekend visits. Then your message should be talking about the importance of family time. The discount you offer then could be the earlier mentioned buy 3 get 1 free deal. The cross promotion should recommend a family-friendly place, and your memorabilia should be something that commemorates their family time, like a photo frame. Let's see the anatomy of promotional newsletters before we go into how you can use your data to personalize them. First and foremost, you need a subject line that will make your email stand out and get them to open your email. This is basically a very short version of your marketing message and promotional offer, focusing on what's in it for them. Something like this, for example: escape the lockdown, 20% off all bookings. Inside the email, you have the header with the same or similar message as the subject line, and the call to action button like learn more or book now. This depends on the rest of the email. Then a short paragraph about why you are sending this email, talking about why your offer is exciting for them. Followed by the promotional offer, ideally with an image and a call to action button again. And finally, additional info like an extra paragraph or a link to a blog post that is relevant to the topic. Now it's time to make use of your newly organized data bank to personalize your newsletter. MailChimp, for example, has an extremely useful tool called tagging. This basically allows you to create segments within an audience. Then you can send different emails to your segments based on what the tag tells you. Let's see some examples. You can tag a segment of your audience with the product they've used in the past, for example. Let's say you have 2 different escape room scenarios, so you create tags for played scenario A, played scenario B, and played both. So you are sending out 3 slightly different emails based on the knowledge about what they've tried before. In the email sent to those who played scenario A, you could use an image of scenario B in the header, or scenario A, so they can easily remember their experience. In the paragraph following the header, you can insert this knowledge saying something like, try scenario B if you've enjoyed scenario A. Or you can use other data points like the date of their visit or the group type to further personalize the message. In the offer section, use a product image that is relevant to them. Also, if you're using images with people, make sure that the group type is relevant to them. If you are sending out a birthday offer for your family segment, for example, use an image that helps them visualize a perfect birthday with their family. Lastly, in the last paragraph, give them more detail about your offer. If you have improved your product during lockdown, then talk about that. If you have a blog that might be interesting for them, link that. Basically, the sky is the limit when it comes to segmenting your audience. To keep everything in line, however, you should keep the amount of segments at bay so you don't lose focus while you're running the campaign. To make your life easier, newsletter templates for the different phases of the campaign are also included in the toolkit. The most important thing is to have your data in an organized way so you can come up with new ways to use your data as you go. Lastly for this episode, let's talk about landing pages. If you don't know what they are, basically these are the website pages where you want your audience to land once they've clicked on your ad. And you might be thinking, but I want all of them to land on the booking page. Well, yes, but not really. If someone has booked product A and B before, you want them to land on a page that focuses on product C, not just a generic page about all of them. Basically, every landing page should have at least 4 sections. A header, information on the product and the offer, reviews and testimonials, a section where they can take action, and lastly some additional information. This is essentially where you're making the money, so you should spend some time figuring out who you are talking to make sure that your landing pages are doing what they're supposed to. This is it for today. Don't forget to grab the toolkit to save you time. Next week in the final episode, I'll cover how to schedule and deliver your campaign while you stay sane trying to stay on top of all the different messaging, segments, deals, and your actual reopening. If you have any questions, send me a DM here on YouTube or leave your question in the comment section below, and I'll do my best to get back to you as soon as possible. Until the next one, Zolly out.